And now you know what's going to happen after this. You'll end up with a formula that they can follow. So I'll be ready. No, exactly. I definitely. But this is
Thank you. SAV. I've been keeping up with y'all and what y'all are doing as far as crime. I like the idea that you're doing that call-in thing.
Let's get some more people on the opposite side over here.
Anyone that is here from one of the residents, one of the neighborhood, Mary, I need you up here by me.
okay.
Okay.
Corinthia's on the way up.
Okay, we're the neighborhood people. I
Freddie
need you
Patrick.
back here again too,
Freddie
with
Patrick.
us.
Freddie Patrick and Cynthia, y'all come on up, and when Corinthia comes in, have a sandwich.
I need our,
She's coming up now.
yeah, I need our county manager. Okay, all right. You know, good morning, everyone, and well, good afternoon. You stand right here. Stand right here because you're going to be speaking. Let me thank you for coming on such short notice. Too much? Okay. Thank you for coming on such short notice. We are very concerned about what is happening in our community, and I'm going to read a statement to you. And Brett, do we have copies of this? They will have copies of this, so that you won't get it wrong. You can get it right, okay? But it's, as you know, we're all very disturbed about, again, and I'm going to say before you ask the question again about what is happening in our community. Let me begin saying that the shooting we have experienced over the past week are totally unacceptable. Gun violence is senseless. It is meaningless, and on Friday night, it left one man dead and another mother grieving. Alderman Osborne is standing next to me because many of the recent shootings have occurred in her district on this east side of Savannah. These are good neighbors. We've also been joined by some of the residents of this community, the president,
And
Corinthia and Patrick, and Mary will tell you about them. They are good neighbors, decent, hard-working, law-abiding citizens. You're going to hear from Mary, and you're also going to hear from our Chief Talbert. Mary will speak, and I know that she's extremely concerned about her constituents who live in places like Live Oak, East Side, Benjamin Van Clark, and Blackshear, and other areas as they move about the east side of Savannah. They don't deserve to live in fear caused by a handful of kids too dumb to sort out their problems without a gun. I call them kids because the ones committing these crimes don't deserve to be called men. While most recent shootings occur on the east side of Savannah, these crimes are unacceptable to all residents of Savannah, no matter where they live. We're one city with one future and one message, and that is put the guns down. We need to take a stand. Our city manager is working on ways to address the problems. She is expanding our youth development programs to provide our young people alternatives to the street. Our Work Build program is helping teens who drop out of high school to get a GED and then teach them construction skills so they can get a job. Go over off of Pennsylvania Avenue and see the pink house that they built. Our Moses Jackson Advancement Center teaches teens on the west side how to run a real print shop and how to cook from a real chef in a real commercial kitchen. These young people learn how to develop real business plans for their dream businesses. Next, she will explore, develop other resources, other centers in the Savannah Garden City neighborhood on the east side of town. Our city manager, our police chief have made development of an Operation Ceasefire program a top priority for the police department. The initiatives will use public and private resources to intervene in the lives of those at risk for the commitment of violent crimes. We will use churches, neighborhood associations, police officers, and nonprofits to watch these risky residents like a hawk. We will provide them all of the training, counseling, and opportunities they will need to be productive citizens. But we will hold them 100% accountable if they decide to break the law. This will not be easy, but it's a model that has been proven to work in other communities. Sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. As a city government, we can do more, and we will do more. But as a community, we need to demand more of ourselves and of our neighborhoods. We need you to be a part of the solution. Savannah is on the edge of greatness. The economy is starting to take off. Jobs are coming to town, and are good paying jobs in that also. We are at the top of everyone's list across the world, but we are shooting ourselves in the foot with gun violence. This is not just bad in Savannah, it's bad for everyone. It is bad across this nation because no one feels safe after a shooting. No matter where the shooting occurs, we all hurt. We all must be a part of the solution. To the parents, get in your kids' business. Get in your kids' business. Know where they are during the day and at night and who they're hanging out with. Search their rooms. It doesn't belong to them. You pay for the rent or the house note. Love them, but hold them accountable. It's time again for tough love. We have a curfew. Weekdays, they can be out till 11. Weekends until 12. Help us enforce it. We're requesting our police department to enforce the rules. To the neighbors, get to know your precinct officers. If you see a crime, report it. We can protect your identity. Don't think that it is none of your business. Crime is all of our business. Criminals look for streets where residents turn the other cheek. To the state and federal lawmakers, we need you to toughen our gun laws, not make them weaker. They need to be toughened. We need you to partner with us as a community. These are your residents too. It is much too easy to get guns in our community. Those who want to put more guns on our street are out of touch with reality of crime today. To Savannah, our home. We are better than this. No person with a gun is stronger than a community working together with a common purpose. We need your help. Together, we will make Savannah stronger. We're also joined here today, and I am delighted to say this, by the new county commission, county manager, I'm sorry, thank you, county manager, Mr. Smith. This will be a concerted effort with all of us, city, county, community, neighborhood, individuals, all of us can make it work. Thank you for your time. At this time, we will have Mary Osborne, the city alderman from the 2nd district, the mighty 2nd district, to come and address you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My message is this: enough is enough. There's more blood on the streets of our young people in Savannah that we should all say enough is enough. But these crimes are very spontaneous, uncontrollable by the police, but there are people out there that witness these things. There are parents that know what's going on. There are witnesses that won't even testify against who shot them. We need your help. The police cannot do it by themselves. You have Crime Stoppers to call in. Some of my neighborhood residents are here. Mr. Freddie Patrick from the East Side Concerned Citizens and Alliance, Cynthia Kennedy, Ms. Corinthia from Live Oak. I hope I didn't miss anyone. And I'd like to say that these neighborhoods are fighting hard to make good neighborhoods. But you know, we have to inspire our people to move forward and to look forward and to help us with the resolution of this problem. It's not a problem the police can solve by themselves. We need your help. Please call in. We have hot spots and we know about them. If you have a hot spot in your neighborhood where things are going on all the time, call it in. You will remain anonymous. It will be no harm to you, but it might be a big help to some grieving parent that's out there suffering for the loss of their child. Thank you so much.
Thank you. At this time, we will have our Chief of Police. We will have our Chief of Police, Chief Talbert, to come and address you at this time.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to point out to you all that I'm sure that you read in the newspaper, witness on CNN and World News on a regular basis how successful some communities are in reduction of crime. But I want you to keep in mind that when you hear and read such articles, those communities have members that engage the police, turn over information to the police. When they witness a crime, they don't take that information in their households and keep it to themselves and aid the criminals with continuing their enterprise. They actually support one another in all of the communities that they live in. In our community, in the city of Savannah, we run into a problem on a regular basis with victims cooperating with police and providing information to the police as to who the suspect is that actually assaulted them. So I want you to make sure that you keep that in mind when you read about reductions of crime. We have to have that cooperation, as the mayor mentioned, and we are soliciting for that information. We are asking residents of this community to support the police and not retaliate. In many of our cases, in some of the recent cases, the victim knew who the suspect was. but they simply would not cooperate with the police and provide the police with that information. And it makes it very difficult for the police to apprehend that suspect, which also gives him or her the opportunity to go and commit another crime. In addition to that, we also find that when we make these arrests, we end up with recidivists. We are constantly looking at individuals who commit crimes in this community, and it's only a small number of them, on a regular basis. And so we have to cooperate with one another, and that includes the court system. When you look at and think about public safety, for many of you, you think about the police, but there's other branches, there's other agencies that's involved with public safety. We all have to take a role, challenging one another to help police our communities. It's not just the responsibility of the police department. Now, I will tell you that over the last several months, since myself and my team have been working to reduce crime, we've come up with a number of different strategies to help in that regard. We are working with our partner agencies, and that include the FBI, the ATF, the U.S. Marshal's Office, and the U.S. Attorney's Office. We have regular meetings with these individuals, and we are partnering together to reduce crime in this community. It's not just the responsibility of your local police department, as I indicated. Of course, we take the lead role, and we solve as many of these crimes as we can possibly solve, but it's not just our responsibility. Now, Operation Ceasefire is one of those initiatives that we've been talking about for months now. We are at the cutting edge of trying to get this program implemented, and the strategies that we are deploying under Operation Ceasefire across the country, it has helped in other communities, and we are hoping that the same results will be manifested here in the city of Savannah. It is evidence-based, and it is also analysis-driven. So we are gathering all the information that we need to make that program a success. The city manager has given us our marching orders on that, and we are doing exactly what she has asked us to do. And we are gathering information by taking trips to other jurisdictions to see how successful those jurisdictions have been. And we are going to take those best practices and implement them here in the city of Savannah. We are also, if you notice, over the last several months, we brought in Operation Thunder. Operation Thunder has been an excellent tool for us with weapon seizures, drug seizures. As you know, vehicles is the main tool used by drug dealers and criminals to travel from point A to point B. And they've made over 2,000 cases thus far. And so we hope to continue working with all of these partner agencies and reducing crime in this community. But it cannot, under any circumstances, be done without the support of the community. More than likely, people stand by, they watch these shootings occur, they witness who the suspects are, and they say nothing about it when the police respond on scene to gather information. And that's a major challenge. And as I stated earlier, when you talk about what other communities are doing to reduce crime, that's a major role. The communities get involved. They assist the police. They don't hide that information. They challenge one another to give out that information so that they themselves won't become victims of crime. None of us want to be a victim of crime. None of us. You don't want to be a victim of crime, and we don't want to be a victim of crime. And so in order to stop it, in order to prevent it, we've got to have that cooperation from the public. And that's pretty much my point of view.
Thank you very much. Let me add one thing, and that is we have lots of media here. We need you to partner with us as well by putting on the media those people that are out there that are committing the crime. If you hear them, sometimes you will hear something that we do not hear. We are asking that you also serve as a part of this community to turn to help us eradicate crime in this area. The shootings must cease. There are too many people out here that have, they are just devastated. Those that have been injured, we have one young man that is in the hospital at this time. You have others that lost their lives throughout this whole process. When someone is shot, there are two families that are hurting. the person that committed the crime and the person that was either killed or injured in the crime. There are two families affected by this. So with that, we will now take questions. Yes.
Starting off with the cooperation issue, what are you guys going to do to address credibility issues with the police department? The recent scandals are already, I understand, affecting juries. We had the letter that Officer Ortega sent to the entire department expressing his displeasure. What are you going to do about A, morale in the department, and B, perception of the department so people will speak with you?
Well, that's where you come in. That's where you can help us. We have excellent officers that are on the street. No matter where you go, you're always going to have a situation where you have someone, whether it's on the police force, working in an office that may not be suitable, that can cause problems. I haven't seen what you're talking about, and to be honest with you, I don't necessarily have to see it. City Council deals in policies. We don't deal in personnel. So when you're talking about personnel issues, that goes before the city manager. And right now, we're trying to talk about the criminals. I talk to officers all of the time. In any situation, when you have something that causes a negative, you're going to have morale to go down. But our morale is going. All of these, your command staff that are here today, are working very diligently to make sure that our officers are taken care of. Our city manager is making sure that the rules and regulations are being enforced. We're doing whatever we can. We cannot deal with perception. We have to deal with a reality, and that is what we do.
Mayor, I understand, though, that in reality, you've had several dozen officers in the past few weeks.
That happens all of the time. In any situation, you have officers that are leaving for one reason or the other. That is not our responsibility as a council to know why they're leaving. Unfortunately, you're always going to have someone of anger that will go to the media to get their case heard. But I'm dealing with a multitude of officers that are here and protecting us on the street. So I can't take one issue to make it a mountain out of a molehill. Unfortunately, this is something that may have happened. But right now, we're dealing mainly with what is happening with these shooters out here on the street and our officers that are out there protecting us every day of the week. That is where we need to help. That is where we need the support of everyone coming in this community. We're no different than any other community.
Mayor Jackson, a report came out in May, an independent report, and they talked about more than 200 officers leaving through attrition in the past 2 years. You could argue that when you lose veteran officers, that does impact public safety. How do you respond to that, and what is being done to try to curb that?
I'm going to because we do not deal with the day-to-day operation of the police force, what I have said is just how I feel. You're going to have people, it's a rotating thing. Just like as I look among you as reporters, I have seen the turnover over and over. It doesn't say because a veteran may have left, that is not making you a good reporter. So it's life that happens, and people move on for other reasons. But to satisfy your question, I'm going to ask the chief to address this.
We have had our share of attrition, as the mayor indicated, just as other agencies do. We have officers that leave the department for a multitude of different reasons, and sometimes it's just not a good match. They realize that law enforcement is not exactly what they thought it was. In fact, here recently we had officers that came into the agency and said, you know, thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity. Didn't realize it required as much work as it does, and they're out of here and going on to something else. It happens sometimes, and we have to deal with that. we institute strategies to continue recruiting, and that's exactly what we're doing now. We are trying to get as many officers on board as we can, but we're not just accepting anyone that walks into the door and say they want to be a police officer. You all would be all over us if we did that. So we've got to make sure that when we do accept applicants interested in becoming police officers, that they have all of the standards in place that we're asking them to have. So, you know, attrition does occur. It just simply happens everywhere.
And not only that, it does not dictate whether you're going to have a good force or bad force. Arrests and people doing those things to keep us safe, that determines a good police force. I want to show you the individuals that are part of the command staff here. They're doing everything that they need to do. These are people, if you want to talk about veterans, I've been here a long time, and these are veterans that are standing, and they have stuck with us, and we're very appreciative of that. I'll take another question, please, from someone.
I talked with Chief Tolbert a couple of weeks ago about David Kennedy's visit and Operation Ceasefire at the time. She said that, you know, y'all were studying the issue. There was no kind of set date to start implementing anything. Has that moved forward in the last couple of weeks? Anything that you can tell us on that front?
Mr. Kennedy wanted to do some more research on the city of Savannah, and that's what he's doing. When he is prepared to come back and speak with us for a second round after doing his research, then we will move forward with that, based on whatever the city manager and the mayor decides.
So you said it could be a couple of months.
Don't know exactly how long it will take.
Thank you.
These points that were made, as far as everything you went into, it does seem to echo Mr. Kennedy's plan. Is it right to believe that you guys are going to be following that plan? And if so, how will it be implemented? Will it be like a committee, a task force? How will it work?
That's information that we have not yet discussed. It's based on the information that Mr. Kennedy comes up with after his research. We will sit down, we will sort through that information, and then make a decision on what the best strategies moving forward will be.
Do I understand that it is informed by that, the things we're talking about? Is that
Pardon?
correct? The strategies you were talking about, you're informed by what Mr. Kennedy was suggesting, is that correct?
We've been working on strategies for a long time, but this is going to refine what we need to do. Dr. Kennedy was outstanding. Our city manager and Alderman Osborne went up to Tennessee to hear about this program. The program is coming to our city. It's not going to be something that is going to happen overnight. So, but I can assure you that it is going to involve all of us in this community. Are there other questions? I'm sorry. I moved from the mic. Are there other questions? Again, we want to thank you for coming in. Let me assure you, I applaud all of the individuals, our command staff that is here. These are the people that are working very hard and very diligently to make this community safe. They cannot do it alone with the other officers. It takes all of us, including media, to help us work to make Savannah as safe as possible. We challenge you to come aboard and be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. We need your help, and we cannot do it without you. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You will. Thank you.